How many of us has heard or said that someone died too soon? Ever wonder why that is? Why an individual is stating that another individual died too soon? Ever wonder how do they know if that particular individual died too soon? Have you ever said to yourself, how could one say such a selfish thing? Sit tight, put a light to whatever gets you right, hit the like button, because without you, this channel is nothing. As we explore this occurrence. Since I was a youngin', I have heard he or she died too soon. And in those days of me being a youngin', I would have agreed that someone in the family or a close family friend died too soon. But of course, these are not those days. The difference is that hearing it now as opposed to then sounds tremendously selfish. Here's why. Who are you and me to decide who should leave and stay for any amount of time? More critically, we all are here to do work on the planet, and typically until that work is done and or someone prematurely takes a being from the living, life goes at its own pace. Might I add, I've heard this pertaining to particularly a person who was suffering and wanted the suffering to end. And in the end, they had to suffer more in pain because of a selfish family and or an individual. How is that right? Not only that, the Divine One has reservations for us all. Believe it or not, it is what it is. It is extremely selfish to want another to continue with their individual suffering that we are not feeling for our own selfish reasonings. This is a result of government, state, and the lamestream media who teaches entitlement and selfishness. It is critical to always be accountable for self, to best avoid unnecessary entitlements, selfishness that also corrupts, such as pride and ego as well. There are times and places for pride and ego. Speaking about someone else's suffering and to attempt to keep them here longer for our own selfish reasonings. I too have had moments where selfishness tried to seep in. But me having control of myself and knowing the pitfalls, I successfully avoid speaking and or feeling about something that's above my human, what's the term I'm looking for? That's above my understanding. No amount of church, biblical look, can't get it out. No amount of church, biblical scriptures can grant us the power to decide when another person leaves. Nor can it grant an understanding of things beyond our understanding. That's the unseen. It is a reason why it is called the unseen. Responsibility is a huge positive burden, meaning as long as you live, it is best to remain cognizant of how responsibility serves as guides to balance that must be. Balance is also a burden that must be maintained. Don't believe it? Then don't be responsible for self and watch and feel the melee that will remove all positive movements and mindsets, of which will leave you and anyone else in dark places. And that's the reality.